What's up, guys? Welcome back. The weather has changed. We're ready to go. As promised, we are going to pull all the body parts and useless crap off of this C5 Corvette to strip it down, get it ready for our exo cage off-road Vette Kart concept. Stay tuned. This part of the builds is one of my favorite parts, where I get to just like rip stuff off of the car that we don't need. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. Let's get started and get the hood off. Got the hood off of there. It's one of the few pieces on this car that's not damaged. So if you are a C5 Corvette owner and you want this hood, let me start by saying I apologize for making fun of your car in the last episode. And yes, these parts are all for sale. All the parts that we're taking off of this car, the car are for sale, but you gotta be local. I'm not shipping anything, but if you're local, I'll give you a good price on them. Just email me. So next thing I wanna do is continue in the front end. So I wanna try and get this bumper cover off, which is probably gonna be a little bit difficult because of the amount of different things around the mud flaps and the rock guards and the stuff like that, but I'll get it figured out. Looks like it's going to be a total pain to access from underneath to get into the fender bolts, and since both the fenders are messed up and the bumper's messed up, I'm just going to try and take them all off together. So I'm going to go after both fenders now too. Well, it took a while, but it's starting to look cool. We got the first fender off, and it was kind of interesting because this bracket right here that holds it on was really bent out of shape. So I had to pull the headlight out to do the rest of the fender work, and yeah, we got it off of there though. So now I'm gonna move on to the other side, pop up that headlight and do the same type of thing. Probably remove the headlight first and then go after this fender and all that stuff to hopefully finally remove this front bumper. It's a stubborn one. Car's looking better and meaner by the minute. The front bumper was so tough to get off there. It was one of the most bolted on front bumpers I've ever worked with, and it was such a pain, but I finally got it off. So next thing I'm gonna do is start to look into these fender liners right in here. These are pretty solid fiberglass constructions here, and most of the pictures that I've seen of cars that have gone the kart route remove this windshield washer reservoir. Now, I am hesitant to do that because we are trying to do an off-road build, and obviously having some of that would be really good to keep. So I'm gonna try my best to keep it, but if we can't, I won't be too surprised. Maybe it's something that we have to temporarily remove because it looks like it does look like it bolts into this piece, but then maybe we can build another bracket later on. So I'll be as gentle as possible with the removal of this side and that side. We got those fenders or fender liners or whatever you want to call them peeled off. They're just, we'll clean this up later on. So they were just glued onto the frame, really similar to like how the Lotus Evora's body was attached to their aluminum frame. So it was like glued there, and there. So I just popped that one off. We'll build some brackets for the windshield washer. And then over here, it was pretty obvious that if I ripped this one off, then I was going to lose all the battery box and a lot of the covering of the ECU down here and that other stuff. So I just did a nice little trim. That way we could leave our bracketing here. And that should be good for now, but as we start to look at bigger tires and whatnot, we may need to jump into this area a little bit more. But I thought that was good for now. So Eric's here. Eric's got a new dog. This is Cooper. So as Eric is here more at the shop, so will Cooper. I'm thinking doors next. God, you can barely see the car because it's in a dark spot. I'm thinking doors should be popped off next probably. Eric and I are pretty keen on getting into that back section because we're coming up with some ideas right now for how we're gonna handle the off-road tires. And it's looking good, but we really gotta double check in the back. But first let's get the doors off. The doors are off. That was actually really quick. There's just a 2-plug system that goes into the wiring harness of the door, so you just unplug those and pull the doors off. So got both the doors off. If anybody wants to go for a summer drive in your own Corvette, try it out at home. No, but anyways, both those doors are for sale too. If you need a door, those were undamaged, but remember, local only. So next, Eric and I are gonna move into this back section. All this stuff is tweaked. You can tell it's all toast. So we're just gonna do our best to kind of gently disassemble it. Got the trunk lid off and this rear back, the thing that covers the convertible top when it's down. So now Eric's gonna work on removing the convertible top, and I'm gonna work on figuring out how to remove the quarter panel, probably on the other side. Knows where it's safe around here, just right underneath the camera. Oh, hey buddy. So we got the rear fenders and the back bumper off. They were toast anyway, so we just kind of ripped them off, and this is what we're left with. All of this stuff is supposed to come off the car as well. We're noticing in here lots and lots of damage from the wreck. I mean, that all just snapped and torqued and just a bunch of fiberglass damage. So this car was rightfully totaled. Here's what the rear impact bar looks like. It's definitely seen better times. It looks like this is looks like it's one piece onto the frame rail, so we're gonna have to do some sort of cut and repair at some point on this. But we're still focused on removing the mass right here, the majority of it. So Eric and I are continuing to just kind of hunt around and see what we can figure out. And well, you guys will see when we see. We'll just pull it all off. Next stage of uninstallation requires the Spear of Destiny, the pry bar of chaos. It's glued on there. This whole thing is a giant fiberglass hot tub, and it's glued onto the chassis, and it ain't gonna come off gracefully. So here goes nothing. We did it! I'm so proud of us right now. We got it done. Here's the worst news of it all. I'm not gonna try and hide this. There is a kink in our frame rail. It's a bummer. We did some measurements on the tire and the wheel. It's still facing the right way. The suspension is good. So you guys remember how I said like there's future generation plans for this car? First one is to compete in, well, it's not a competition, but to have fun in the Gambler. Eric and I have decided that it's going to be perfectly fine for doing that. And then for the next iteration of this car, we weren't actually going to use this frame. We are going to more use the powertrain of the vehicle. So that doesn't really mess up anything. So it's a bummer, but it's not the end of the world, and it's not going to slow us down. As far as how we're going to lift it up, we haven't come up with any ingenious solutions. We are thinking about potentially modifying the leaf spring in the bottom to push it up a little bit, looking into what we can do in the front. But the main thing that we're going to try and do is fit much taller tires. So we're going to get wheels that have a different offset. We're going to basically get truck wheels that have a different offset that'll send this out, and then if we need to, we'll space it. That should get our wheel way out to over here, which gets us a lot more real estate for a massive 33-inch tire. So that's all stuff that we're going to be working on, you know, behind the scenes before July, when we really kick this build off full steam. We've got plans for a roll cage, but hey, you guys have heard enough about roll cage plans the last week, so we're not going to bother with that. We're talking electrical, custom lighting, headlights, taillights, light bars, all the good off-road stuff. I didn't tell you this, Eric, but I had a sponsor hit me up that sells like roof rack cases and stuff like that. How cool would it be if we got cargo cases that went across the top roll bars? I like it. That'd be pretty cool. And any other off-road stuff that we can think of. We need fenders because we're obviously going to be kicking up dirt, and brush guards and skid plates. All soon to come. We've got a game plan for all of it. All right, we've generated quite a bit of junk, but we've also got a bunch of parts that we threw inside the house. So again, if anybody needs Corvette parts and you're local, hit me up. For now, Eric and I are off to go get some dinner and a car cover. Cooper, you want to come too, buddy? Yeah? Oh. Do you want to go too? Do you want to go to dinner? Yeah. Yeah. Let's go, bud. All right, I just got back home. Eric and I had a little too much fun at dinner, and then we lost track of time. And by the time we got done, all the auto parts stores were closed, so I couldn't get a car cover. So poor old Jenkins has to spend the night out in the cold tonight. Feel kind of bad about that, but man, how much fun was that? One day. If you have a Corvette and you don't like the looks of it, it just takes one day to rip all of its skin off, and you could have a lighter weight Corvette. Not by much. All of that stuff does not really even equal out to the weight of the roll cage that we're going to put on it. But that's not what it's all about. So thank you guys so much for watching. We're moving back onto the 240Z stuff tomorrow. We've got a big announcement about merch though. All of our leftover merch that we have from our last sale, we've gathered it all up, we put it back on the store, and it's ready for you guys to get at it. So it's all still on sale, so we're still running that half off sale that we did last time until we sell 100% out of everything. So if there's support, the Chaos stickers on there, there's some BS for Build decals on there, there's some shirts, some other stuff like that. It's all half off, so get it while you can. There's a lot of new people here on the channel since we had that last sale, so if you're new to the channel and you want to help out and support, it's all at bsforbuild.com, and it's all half off for a limited time, so go check that out. And that's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow back on the 240Z. Thanks for watching. Peace. Come on.